I hope you are doing well. It is Sunday, June 25th, and boy, is the weather radar active. And I'm going to double check to make sure that this is working properly. I hope you are doing well. It is Sunday. It is. All right, excellent. So there's a lot going on, and I want to focus right here on this storm. This is in Indiana, and this is just west of Bedford, Indiana. And this storm right here, you can see a little bit of a hook, a lot of lightning. That's likely just produced a tornado over Crane, Indiana. So if you live anywhere from Crane to Bedford, this storm is pushing east. Bedford, you're going to be next. So please start thinking about taking shelter in the next 5 to 10 minutes or so, maybe a little bit longer for you folks. But if you're in between these two areas, get into your safe space right now. That's an interior room, a closet, a hallway, as many walls between you and the outside as possible. If you have a basement, go down there. You guys know the drill. But between Crane, Indiana and Bedford, Indiana, you're pretty much in the path of a storm that's likely producing a tornado right now. And you can see this is the case all up and down Indiana. And this has been quite the powerful line here. And these are what we call discrete supercell storms. And these are the storms that rotate. And when you have storms that rotate, it's a lot easier for a tornado to form. So that's what we're looking at. We got a lot of lightning with these, and you could just see they're kind of off on their own in this line, so they've got plenty of energy to work with. And as these head east, even into Ohio, there's still going to be plenty of energy to work with. So it looks like that severe risk is going to continue. We're also keeping an eye on these storms down here that are starting to form in southern Illinois, Kentucky, up through Indiana into Ohio. This area right here is really kind of the focus for potential tornadoes in the next couple of hours and beyond. So even into this evening, that's going to be the areas where we have the tornado threat. And, you know, anyone could see severe storms today if you're under the risk. However, this area, this line right here is the one I'm watching that could be producing some pretty powerful storms, including some strong tornadoes. Fort Wayne, Indiana, you're about to really get hit here with a lot of lightning, damaging winds, and hail. You know, a lot of these are severe storms. This segment right here of the line, though, around Indianapolis, and that's eventually going to move toward, you know, Cincinnati, toward Louisville, toward Dayton, Ohio, that is going to be the one to watch for in terms of the tornado potential. And then it's really stormy for folks in Grand Rapids, all throughout Michigan, and this is going to push toward Detroit as well. Likely going to be more of a hail and damaging wind threat. And you're going to see this segment filling in, and you can already kind of see it. You got a little storm there forming in Arkansas. You're going to see this kind of fill in right here, and you're going to see more storms pushing into the deep south. So you'll see them moving through Tennessee later tonight, including where I'm at here in the Nashville area. And you're going to see that pushing into parts of Mississippi, into Alabama, even kind of the northwest corner of Georgia could see some severe weather. Now, we've had this cluster of storms right here in Tennessee. This has produced a few severe thunderstorms. There has also already been some hail in Alabama. If you have any pictures or videos you want to send us, reach out to us on social media, or you can email the pictures through our app. It's pretty easy, but we would love to know what you're seeing, so make sure you do that. But it's just active. There's such a big area to watch for, and of course my focus right now is going to be on those storms in Indiana. So let me show you the risk for today, and this is going to go until about 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. So this is an overnight threat in addition to, you know, afternoon and evening. So this continues. It's just now getting started. So we're not anywhere near finished with this. It's going to ramp up for a lot of folks. So right now we've got the enhanced risk. It's a level 3 out of 5. And that means that you're pretty likely to see a severe storm if you're in that enhanced risk. So this includes some pretty big metro areas. It includes Little Rock. It includes Nashville, Bowling Green, Louisville, Cincinnati, and up through Columbus, Fort Wayne. A lot of these areas already being impacted by the severe storms. And you can see this stretches pretty far south, you know, almost to Mobile is where that slight risk is. That's level 2 out of 5. Chattanooga included that. Kind of the northwestern portion of the Atlanta metro. Birmingham included as well. And you've already got those storms. You know, we just showed you those storms over Grand Rapids in Michigan. So many areas could see severe weather in the coming hours. It is wild. There's about 60 million people under the risk of severe storms. And we also have a couple of areas out west, including parts of Montana, Idaho, also down in through Wyoming and parts of very northern edge there of Colorado and the western edge of Nebraska. Could see a couple strong storms, but really our main focus is this orange and yellow area where we've got that big threat. So we're going to break it down. Here's the tornado risk, and this is really happening right now. Notice the risk stretches from Michigan down even into Tennessee. Nashville, we've got a 2% chance. But where we're expecting tornadoes and where we're already starting to see that action is from Indianapolis, Louisville, into the Cincinnati area. So, even in toward Columbus, I would keep my phone on loud enough to wake me up, just because you're going to see these storms continuing to push east. So if you're falling asleep this evening, tonight, you really need to keep an eye on things as this line pushes to the east. But right now, looks like that biggest threat is happening. And, we'll take a quick look once again at the weather radar. You can see it's not quite to Louisville yet, but you need to be watching out. Same thing here in Columbus, Indiana, as well as Dayton, Ohio, Cincinnati, Richmond. So we've got Indiana, Fort Wayne's about to get a lot of heavy rain, lightning. But this little segment here around Indianapolis and to the south and east, this is the one that's been producing the tornadoes so far. We've had a couple of reports of tornadoes. Few have been caught on camera so far, and there's likely to be more. And there is that potential for strong tornadoes because you see this little area right here, Indianapolis through Cincinnati, down through Louisville. It's got the hatch marks. That indicates that strong tornadoes are possible within about 25 miles of where you're at. You've got a 10% chance of seeing a tornado, but if one does happen, it could be strong. So please keep that in mind. Let's take a look at the wind threat. And the wind threat is the biggest risk as you go pretty much throughout this whole line, but especially from middle Tennessee down into the deep south and to portions of Mississippi and Arkansas, you're likely going to see some really rockin' winds. So tonight, these storms will still be kicking. Keep that in mind. If you have a bedroom that's right next to a big old tree that could fall over, you probably don't want to sleep in that room tonight. Or if you're just chilling and the storm's rolling through and your living room has a big tree right next to it that could fall on you, I would say don't chill out in that room. I know it sounds kind of a little silly, but it can save your life. Big hail also a concern. Little Rock into even eastern Oklahoma, and then also up into the Midwest and Ohio Valley. We're talking some pretty big hailstones up to 2 inches in diameter. Once you get to 1 inch and above, that's plenty big enough to cause a lot of damage to your vehicle, to your roof even. So I would take the car, put it underneath the carport or the garage if you have one. And good luck. Just keep an eye out because some pretty powerful hailstones could wreak some havoc. And we've already had hail in northern Alabama. And it's already been some pretty decent sized hail. So that's, this event is just getting underway. So there's going to be more to it. So that's what we're looking at for today. And this evening, that's the threat areas. That's where you need to be on alert. And then tomorrow, we've got another enhanced risk, but this time it's going to be along the mid-Atlantic coastline, Baltimore, D.C., Virginia Beach included, Raleigh, North Carolina. Yeah, and we got a slight risk also out west, stretching from Wyoming into Nebraska and into South Dakota. So there's a lot going on. We're going to have full coverage of that as well. Right now, our focus is just what's going on tonight because this is a big deal. This is a really large area of thunderstorm action, and we're seeing all modes of severe weather. Tornadoes that could be strong. We're looking at large hail. We're looking at damaging winds. So if you're anywhere in Indiana right now, eastern Indiana, into north central Kentucky, and also, I would say anywhere in kind of central Kentucky in general, you need to be watching out. Same thing in western Ohio as these storms continue to push east, and the eastern half of Michigan, Detroit, Flint. Keep an eye out for these storms because they're moving and they are just very powerful. So this is, the last few minutes here of these storms, and they have been so strong in producing, a lot of severe weather. We've already had tornado reports. So that's what we're looking at. And this action continues into the overnight, and you'll start to see it kind of pushing into the south as well. And we're going to be watching this throughout the overnight into tomorrow. Tomorrow afternoon, you start to see these storms forming into the mid-Atlantic region. But right now, just keep your storm alerts turned on, especially if you're in this little area right here, Indianapolis, into, I would say Indiana, eastern Indiana, into western Ohio, into north central Kentucky, because these storms are no joke. So there's a last look right here at our outlook. I'm going to keep the live blog going throughout the evening, so you'll get the latest updates on warnings and who is seeing what. Just please stay safe and remember, to just go over that severe weather safety plan. Know where you're going to go. Make sure you're ready. Keep some shoes nearby just in case you need to throw them on, go into your safe space. And we just want to make sure you stay safe. So we've got a couple different ways for you to stay alert. If you haven't downloaded the Weather and Radar app, go right ahead and do so. And we will see you again tomorrow. We're going to have more coverage as these storms continue to unfold. Y'all have a safe night. Please keep up with the forecast, and I will